But like I said, both teams getting exactly what they wanted. India choosing to field first, and Hong Kong said, hey, Carrie Chan was like, hey, we would have batted first anyway. It's interesting, isn't it? With weather, potential bad weather on the horizon. Mikhail Vaswani, welcome to the Combox.
Thank you, Jay. And as you talk about the weather, the sun has disappeared once again as the dark clouds just seem to make their appearance once again at the Tin Kwong Recreation Ground here in Hong Kong. It has been playing hide and seek out here. But there you can see a good toss to win for India. They believe in these conditions they want to exploit. Empires make their way to the middle. We're all set for game number 4, match number 2 of today. It's going to be India A versus home team, Hong Kong.
Yeah, and I got to give credit as well to the ACC. Committed to women's empowerment. All officials, all umpires in this tournament are female. So good to see providing equal opportunities for females in this industry. It's very, very important. I tell you what, though, getting back to the game, I'm not surprised at all to see Tash Miles and Mariko Hill walking out to open for Hong Kong. They've got the home crowd support. And you can hear that crowd maybe just coming into play right now. And I think as the afternoon progresses, we might see more and more people, maybe some school children as well, coming into the ground. India A, though, arguably the pre-tournament favourites. Shweta Sehrawat leads out the rest of her outfit. The majority of this lineup, look at that, they're so happy. That youthful exuberance, they were there at the Under-19 World Cup for India.
You just get the impression they have spring in their feet at the moment. As you rightly mentioned, the youthful exuberance in them, getting into the famous team huddle. Last minute discussions, instructions and all of it. They believe they have the personnel to go out there and make early inroads and restrict home team Hong Kong.
Mariko Hill, though, arguably Hong Kong's best player. Experience playing for Middlesex, of course, very recently. 37 off 24 on Middlesex debut for Mariko Hill. She's a seasoned fairbreaker as well. Had a very good last season at Fairbreak in Hong Kong, which concluded, well, just 2 months ago. But this is a different proposition, playing against full member opposition. I know it's not exactly Hong Kong's, India's strongest lineup. It's an A team after all. But look, in addition to those impressive under-19s, you have Shreyanka Patil, you have Kanika Ahuja. They're still young, but they featured in that Women's Premier League for RCB. And both of them, they did really well. So they deserve their spot in this squad, there's no doubt about it.
Natasha Miles, she'll be eager to start off well and take a team to a good start. The first 6 overs will remain the key. They'll be up against some very fine bowling unit, particularly in conditions where it's going to be a little hostile as well.
Unsurprisingly, Titas Sadhu to open things up from the softball court end. First ball. All right, on the money. That corridor of uncertainty, picking up exactly where she left off at the Under-19 World Cup.
Oh yes, just releasing it, keeping it simple, holding its line. A hint of movement, late movement there. And that'll certainly create doubts in the mind of the batter as well. It's getting windy as well as we speak, Jay. Couldn't have asked for a better condition right now as a bowler.
Look at those eyes, Titas Sadhu. Again, a near action replay. Tash Miles not sure, should I get forward, should I stay back? Consecutive plays and misses.
Beats the bat once again. Tentative push there, half-hearted. That's why that slip is so important, and she'll come into play as well.
Pitches it up. Ooh, a little bit too straight. Worked away. I think it's come off the pad. Just waiting for the signal from the umpire.
Runs given to the batter, so Natasha is off the mark with a single. And so is Hong Kong. At the toss, Carrie Chan did mention that they were looking to bat first. So it's a win-win for both the teams. But can they make it count? Just feel at the moment everything going bowler's way.
First ball for Mariko Hill. Guides it away, down to deep third. Oh, as easy as that, Mariko Hill. She gets off the mark as well. But it's so important, Hong Kong, that they get a good start here with this opening combo. They're a little bit top heavy. They're not the only team in associate cricket who are a bit top heavy. But so much rests on the shoulders of Tash Miles, Mariko Hill, and of course Carrie Chan as well. 2 balls left. Again, similar region, same result, should just be a single.
Steady start here for Hong Kong. Aren't doing anything extravagant at the moment. Just playing the ball to its merit on this occasion, just opening the face of the bat, using the pace. You have as many as 3 fielders inside the circle behind the bat, and she gets past them.
Slip in position. Straight to gully this time. A tidy first over, 3 runs off it. Hong Kong 3 for no loss after 1. A pace and spin combo. It's left arm spinner Mannat Kashyap into the attack. Interesting, the spinner bowling from the Argyle Street end with those short straight boundaries. Hong Kong, this is their home ground. They are definitely familiar with the ground dimensions. And I have a feeling you're going to see Tash Miles and Mariko Hill trying to go down the ground, maybe trying to clear Kanika Ahuja there at mid-off.
Long gone and deep mid-wicket in position for the catch.
Yeah, a bit of an anti-climax there. Textbook forward defensive there. But no, it's a huge temptation, isn't it? Kanika Ahuja, not the tallest of fielders there at mid-on. I'd definitely be looking to go over the top. She mistimed that sweep. Hong Kong still looking for their first boundary.
Jay, we've seen most teams employing the spin culture in the very first few overs. Every team has had that spinner as early as in the second over.
That's taken, a nice low catch at square leg and a big wicket of Tash Miles. Mannat Kashyap, she was the leading wicket taker for India at the Under-19 World Cup, and she strikes in her very first over.
There again, didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball, just lobbed it. Very good low catch in the end at square leg. It was never going to be easy. It was dying on her, dropping on her. But the big news is that Natasha departs and she goes back to the dugout. India strike in the second over. Mannat it is. Trisha with a very fine catch. Natasha walks back for 2. And Hong Kong lose their first wicket.
Yeah, I beg your pardon, it was actually Parshavi Chopra, the leading wicket taker at the Under-19 World Cup. Nonetheless, 9 wickets for Mannat Kashyap. She formed such a good spin bowling duo with Parshavi, as I said earlier. So an early wicket in just the second over for India A, and immediately Hong Kong on the back foot. Shanzeen Shehzad walks in at number 3. She had a very good Hong Kong Women's Premier League season. And recently, at her club awards night, won the award for Best Batter of the Season, the Little Saiwan Cricket Club Awards night. We're back live, Mannat Kashyap. Oh, generous amount of turn.
Well, the seamers getting some movement. The spinners very early getting turn. And look at this. Again, in two minds there. That's been the problem with most batters.
Chandu on the leg side. Quick single. Good call as well from Mariko Hill. Direct hit, so I think we might go upstairs, but she should be okay.
This is going to be interesting because I'm not too sure the body language of the batter is looking confident. Was she a little slow to get back? The fielders believe they're in with the chance. They've already started celebrating. That usually is the case when it's a direct hit. But this is going to be very, very close. Because I just got the impression that Shanzeen was very slow to get out the blocks and get to the other end.
Yeah, this might be closer than I first expected, but no. My initial impression was indeed correct. Perhaps I've got a future as an umpire, Mikhail?
Quite certainly, Jay.
I'm just being facetious. There's no way I can stand out in the middle in this heat. I'm never going to be an umpire.
And that's why credit must go to everyone there in the centre to brave this heat. Not just the players, but the umpires as well. Never easy to maintain focus and concentration.
Nonetheless, a very good start here from the left-arm spinner. And that early wicket means that Hong Kong, maybe they can't take full advantage of this power play. Their top-heavy batting lineup. Maybe now's the time to just build a bit of a partnership. Watchful from Mariko. In fact, that's the end of the over. A successful one for Mannat Kashyap. Hong Kong, bit of pressure on them.
Very good second over there by Mannat. A wicket for her. Hong Kong on the back foot. We'll just take a look at that ball once again. Very good pick up and one-handed throw. Shanzeen there just took her time. 9 out of 10 times a direct hit always inflicts into a run-out. Results rather into a run-out. But Titas Sadhu has looked so good.
3 off her first over. Still looking for her first wicket. Perfect length. Look at that. Jagged back into the right-hander as well. I dare say this is one of the toughest tests of Shanzeen Shehzad's career. She just about made her ground there.
What I like about Sadhu is that she's finding the hard lens, which is very difficult to score off. And she's been on the ball from the very first delivery she's bowled.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Shanzeen Shehzad. Feet rooted to the crease. It beats her inside edge and she gets that wicket, Titas Sadhu, that we were talking about.
And she set up the batter brilliantly. I'll tell you why. The previous delivery was the one that held its line and moved out. And this one came in sharply. Gap between bat and pad. Once again, the batter thinking the ball would just maybe leave the outside edge. But this one came in. And that's how you get batters out as bowlers up front. You set them up. And that's what Sadhu has done. Mariko walks back. Beg your pardon, Shanzeen walks back. Wicket number 2 goes for Hong Kong. And India A right on top.
Yeah, a couple of things about that dismissal. She came a little bit wider of the crease there as well, Titas Sadhu. So just came on with the angle, but also moved in off the pitch. And now it's Carrie Chan. Captain Carrie Chan walking in at number 4. It's tough. It's really, really tough to walk in a situation like this. She's taken her guard, the Hong Kong skipper. She's played 2 seasons as well at the Fairbreak Invitational for the Sapphires.
With left-hander in the middle and Sadhu getting the ball to move both ways. I'd want to believe Soumya at first slip will have a role to play as well. But what a start by India, winning the toss, electing to bowl first. And the bowlers have responded, raising their hands saying, Captain, conditions favouring us, we'll get you the wickets.
She's batting well outside her crease. Carrie, first ball. Oh, play and a miss. Absolutely beautiful. That angle in, that shape away from Titas Sadhu. Worth taking a look at that again. That wicket, oh my God. Shanzeen Shehzad, she was batting out of her crease but could not contend with the angle and movement.
I was having a chat with Khyati some time back and I asked her, whom do you reckon will make an impact? And she said, watch out for the seamers. Sadhu is one of them and she has delivered indeed.
She's got pace as well, Titas Sadhu. And she's got accuracy.
And what I really like about is her rhythm, her run-up, very uncomplicated, her action as well, the release. Everything looks very simple yet so effective and result-oriented. She's getting appreciable bounce off the surface. She can move the ball both ways. And that's what you need from your seamer.
And I think that's why people were very surprised that she was not picked in India's 11 for their first game against South Africa at that Under-19 World Cup. She's coming around the wicket to the left-hander. They're just straightening. she's got a smile on her face, Titas Sadhu, and she can afford one as well.
Very rarely do you see pacers exchanging smiles. They're more intimidating rather. But this is what she's all about. Bowls with a big heart. First wicket here. Scooped and lobbed. Very good catch there. And then this one coming in through the gates. Big gap between bat and pad and they go up celebrating. Back live.
Oh, pitched it up. Same result. A dot ball plays inside the line of that one. 2 wickets down inside the first 3 overs for Hong Kong. The home side. I haven't heard anything at all from this home crowd. A lot of people are packed in here at the Tin Kwong Road Recreation Ground. I'm getting notifications as well on WhatsApp. There you go, a concerned Hong Kong dugout that new coach Andy Cottam. Tell you what, imagine that as your first game. Your first game in charge against the tournament favourites.
And this is what you call baptism by fire, Jay. Sweeps and sweeps well. There's protection in the deep. They're running the first run fast. They're eyeing the second. But they'll settle for one. Good fielding in the deep.
Yeah, I think for Hong Kong now it's about adjusting their expectations as we take a look at this replay. It was a very nice sweep shot, just couldn't quite get it to the boundary. But yes, for Hong Kong, I think the minimum target has to be to get up to that 3-figure mark, to get up to 100. It's okay if you're around 35 or 40 for 2 after 10 overs. You can accelerate in the second half.
You talk about the 3-figure mark, Jay. I have an interesting anecdote to share with you. We'll speak about it after this delivery.
I can't wait. Here's Manat Kashyap. Oh, vicious amount of turn. A very optimistic appeal. That was most likely spinning down leg side.
Maybe the height factor also could have factored in. Let's take a look at it. Where did it strike the batter? But look at that for turn. Wow. That was high indeed. Right, I did mention about the 3-figure mark anecdote at the toss. I spoke to both the captains and I first asked the India captain, Shweta Sherawat, how much is the total they're looking to restrict their opposition? And she said inside 100. I asked Carrie as well, what's the kind of target you want to set? Anything over 100.
Great minds think alike. Play and a miss. Optimistic appeal.
There again, looped delivery. This time went with the arm. But we've seen 2 matches where the scores of inside 100 have not been overhauled.
It's a 5-4 offside dominant field. She tries to go over the top. This should be taken. Yes! Nice low catch there. That fielder at mid-off. Fantastic. I think that's Kanika Ahuja. Yes, absolutely. The RCB star making no mistake.
Oh yes. For a brief moment she was not able to pick the height and judge where exactly was it landing. She took 2 steps back and then she suddenly realized that I need to move forward, and that's why that late dive in the end. She did go back, if you can see it, and then she comes in running, and a very good catch by the end of it, keeping her eyes and on impact holding the ball as well. India all over Hong Kong at the moment. Wicket number 3 goes.
And walking in at number 5 is Marina Lamplau. She's got experience, of course, playing for Northern Districts in New Zealand. Marina Lamplau is also a fair breaker and a stalwart for Hong Kong Cricket Club. Marina Lamplau. And I tell you what, her batting is like red wine, just keeps getting better with age.
And this is going to be a real test for her. For all that she's done, sometime it boils down to some iconic moments, and surely this one, under pressure against a quality side like India A, if she can bring her A game, she's going to certainly inspire the girls in the dugout as well.
Got a slip in position, Soumya Tiwari, waiting for that outside edge. Again, a vicious amount of turn. Not signalled wide, interestingly. But at the end of 4 overs, Hong Kong, they're 5 for 3. If you're just joining us, it's India A that won the toss and decided to bowl first. Carrie Chan, the skipper of Hong Kong, said, "Hey, I don't mind. I would have had a bat in any case." But Carrie, I don't think she wanted a score line like this. I don't think she expected it. Mariko Hill, one of Hong Kong's finest. She's been there since the start. Watched 3 wickets fall all around her.
Change in bowling, another left-arm orthodox spinner in operation. 3 wickets to fall this morning, and in quick time, let me tell you.
And it's B. Anusha Reddy into the attack. Intelligent bit of bowling. That one just sliding on with the arm. And Suhas and I, we spoke about that in the last game as well. On a turning track, sometimes it's the ones that don't spin. That's what gets you in trouble.
Because 9 out of 10 times you're playing for the turn. Quite rightly pointed out there, Jay.
Oh, bit of a misfield. They're thinking about a single. They're going to have to be quick. Oh, direct hit could have been interesting. Mariko Hill living dangerously. And she's been starved of the strike as well.
Not too sure if there was a single in this on the misfield as well. Very lucky, though she would have made it in time, but that could have been very close. Touch and go there. Very true, Mariko only 4 deliveries in the 24 that has been bowled in the first. Beg your pardon. Yes, 24 deliveries bowled.
Flatter. Ooh, it kept a bit low as well. She was looking for that gap square of the wicket. Marina Lamplau walks away, gathers her thoughts. She's thinking, what are my scoring regions?
Partnership at this stage will be the key for Hong Kong.
Pitched up, driven. She gets off the mark with a single. Could it be more? No, good bit of work in the deep.
Very smart captaincy as well. I'll tell you why. For the left-arm orthodox spinner, mid-wicket has been kept vacant only to force the batter to play across the line, choke them on the offside, and force them to play across the line to a delivery that may come in straight. It's a very smart captaincy by Shweta Sehrawat.
I know you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking. Very high chance of a leading edge. Moves across her stumps, misses it. I think the thinking was right from Mariko, just couldn't quite make any connection on that.
But in hindsight, if you look at this once again, she's forcing the batters to manufacture shots and play out of their comfort zone. That was way outside off, and she's saying, okay, play on the leg if you want to get your runs, because I'm not giving you anything on the off.
Down track, eased through the covers. Is this going to be the first boundary? Maybe not. It's slowing up in the outfield. But they come back for a useful 2 runs. Best over of the innings so far, 4 runs off it. Hong Kong, 9 for 3 after 5.
Still a batter to get into double figures. It's not a very good looking score sheet batting card here for Hong Kong. 2-5-1-0-1. 5 gone, it's 9 for 3.
Tell you what, mate, I thought you were reading out a phone number. 25101. Someone's got to get some boundaries away here for Hong Kong. Change in bowling. Kashvi Gautam into the attack. Kanaka Ahuja, she's moved a little bit straighter, in fact, Kanaka Ahuja. She's fielding in mid-off, took a catch already, a nice low catch. Worked away straight to that mid-wicket fielder. But interesting to see both mid-on and mid-off up in the circle. I think that a big reason for that is the wickets column. 3 wickets already inside the power play.
And that's the way it should be. The message is very loud and clear by the Indian captain. Earn your runs because you're not going to get it easy from us.
In the air. Oh, just evading that fielder in the gully down to deep third for a streaky single.
Once again, not in control and position of the shot. Not too sure where was she planning to play this. But lucky enough that it didn't go to the fielder. But somehow if a partnership can build, it can certainly help Hong Kong to get to that 3-figure mark. Somehow they need to find an association.
Slow delivery, good change up there by Kashvi. And you get the feeling if runs are going to come, they're going to come off the bat of Mariko Hill. Let's take a look at that delivery. Ooh, coming back in as well into Mariko.
That's been the highlight of the Indian Pacers. They've got the ball to move both ways.
Again, that sharp bit of movement back into the right-hander. They're going to sneak through for a single. This could be a leg bye. Yes, signaled leg bye by the umpire.
Not surprised by the huge appeals. Each time the ball hits the pad, it's as if it's a rule that the bowler has to go up in an appeal. But Kashvi has begun well. Just a single in the first 3 deliveries. Indians have come out with great intent and execution at the moment.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was one of those bowlers that appeal for everything. That's because I barely got the chance to appeal. Good sound off the bat. She's not going to find a boundary. Into deep mid-wicket for a single.
Nicely worked away on this occasion.
Oh, playing a miss off the last ball. We're going at exactly 2 runs and over Hong Kong. 12 for 3 after 6.
How do you look at the situation? How do you view the situation, Jay? You play out the 20 overs somehow, or you decide that one of the 2 batters in the middle will take charge and just get into an aggressive mindset. Because at this stage, after 6 overs, 12 for 3, someone has to get the runs and bring in that, rather get that run rate going.
Yeah, no doubt. There's no point pushing and prodding your way to 60, 65. At some point, you're going to have to take on the bowling. And I don't think there's actually going to be a shortage of intent from Lamplau and Mariko Hill. They're both very positive players. Still looking for their first boundary. Still a slip in position. Lets that go.
Take a look at that offside. You have a short third, a slip in position, backward point, a regulation point, covers mid-off. So there's no protection in the deep. There's a deep mid-wicket and a long on. 6 on the off inside the circle.
Down the track, can't find the gap. Finds the bowler, back-to-back dot balls. And we saw Mariko trying to take advantage of that offside dominant field earlier. She moved across her stumps. She was trying to access the leg side. Marina Lamplau, I think she's thinking leg side as well right now. Let's see, she's shaping up for a big shot. Aggression. I love this. Be Anusha ready. Oh, she's ready.
Ever ready, let me tell you. Aggression.
Get the scorecard.
And Suhaska is got a special guest for us, I believe.
It's a little tough one for the girls to adjust to the conditions. But yeah, it's been a good start.
You talked about adjusting to the conditions. Actually, most of the girls have been on tours, barring the 5 who are debuting. Most of them have been on tours, so they know a thing or two about acclimatizing. Must have made it easier for you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the way we actually prepare these girls for the overseas tours. We try and be there at the place a little early so that they can acclimatize not only with the ground conditions, but the weather and the other stuff as well, their life stuff. So I think they are equipped to manage themselves. Yeah.
Rajiv sir, how did you solve this riddle? The surface assisting spinners, the sky is suggesting the pacers will do well.
We have a good mix of fast bowlers and spinners in the team, and yeah, it's always a catch-22 situation. Seeing the wicket, seeing the previous teams play, where to pick up more spinners, but we have gone with 2 fast bowlers, and most probably that would remain the strategy throughout.
I would love a word on this initiative by Asian Cricket Council, and how important is it to have it at this juncture, at an impressionable age for these young girls?
No, it's a fantastic move. I think it's happening after how many years now?
I think about 4.
For about 4 years. So that's a beautiful platform for these young girls who are coming up from the junior ranks, the A teams, to make a stake for the senior teams. Obviously, it would also help the associate members really try and understand what they need to do to come up to the level of the test playing nations. That's a wonderful thing, and I think this could be the best place where this tournament could be held. Yeah, one ground, so the similar conditions for all, so that they can understand how one prepares and plays a game.
At a personal level, how exciting has it been working with girls who are ever willing to learn and improve?
Yeah, so we keep on talking about this, the difference between the girls and the boys. Now that I'm with the National Cricket Academy, with BCCI, being catering to all the age groups as well as the seniors for the test teams and the ODIs as well. I always say they are really ready to learn, and I think it's very exciting working with girls. So keen learners. I think it's all around the world. That's what I found coaching, the difference between the males and the females.
And finally, as an ardent fan myself who's followed almost all games that the girls have played at any level, is it so that given that weather is going to be a constant theme, the balance of the side will change a little bit? Because India A, when it usually plays, it believes in not changing the side at all, much like CSK.
So we have had a theory of horses for courses.
Okay.
Really don't go with any strict formula. We don't have a basic formula. We don't have it. We keep it. We prepare them for the conditions, and we play as the situation demands. So that's the mantra we follow.
Thank
so
you
really
so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us at the time as well.
Thank you.
Please pass on the mic to
sure.
the head coach, Nushina Khadir. Warm welcome into the frame. Well,
Thank you very
Nushin,
much.
yeah, lovely to see you here as well. South Africa was a wonderful tour. Little did you know you were also scouting a few for this tournament.
Well, I see this was a wonderful platform to come in, but then I was not too sure. But then I actually realized, and back home we had an NCA under 23 camp, which was planned as per the the guidelines of BCCI, where we have these zonal camps happening, so national camps happening, and these girls have been lucky enough to get this tournament their way.
Any other preparation as well apart from the camps, because this requires match situation under their belt before they play a good tournament of this kind?
See, look, once the domestic season is over back home, we have a lot of camps, of zonal camps and national camps lined up for different age groups of 19 and 23. So obviously this tournament coming up is going to be a very good platform for these girls to understand at an international level.
Mr. Datta told about acclimatizing. What about the batters? They need to acclimatize too.
I think we are prepared for it. See, back home we had the camp in Bangalore. So obviously at this point of time, you're going to have a weather like this in Bangalore. And there was sunshine in the mornings, and evenings it rains. So everything has gone well. The girls have been prepared well. So it's important that how well these girls adapt to these conditions and then execute it.
Finally, what do you think about this tournament itself and the initiative that ACC has come up with, and to ensure that India is also rubbing shoulders with other nations of the associate kind?
Absolutely, I think it's happening after 4 years. So obviously, we need to keep in mind that there's overall development at Asian cricket. Okay, that's what we're looking at, where it's just not confined to India. And to have such tournaments and these girls, in fact, overall getting these girls an opportunity to play at this level is going to be an eye-opener for a lot of under-19s to go ahead and make their basic skills stronger.
Well, all the best for the rest of the game as well, and you would be a proud coach indeed for all that the girls continue to do on the field.
Thank you very much.
Back to you in the comms.
Thank you, Suhas. Wonderful listening to Nushin Al-Qadir and Rajiv Datta. Great insight and perspective into how the team is prepared and ready for every kind of condition and situation, and that's how the players need to condition themselves in professional sport. You have to be ready for everything and anything coming at you. And at the moment, they have been dishing out a very fine effort in the middle. But Hong Kong are slowly and steadily fighting back and getting themselves back into this contest.
$19 for 3. I'll tell you what, one good thing for Hong Kong, they did get one boundary away. Mariko Hill, the only one who's hit something across the ropes. Unless my eyes are deceiving me, it's the leg spinner Parshavi Chopra. Yes, they are deceiving me. It's Shreyanka Patil, I beg your pardon, into the attack. Just coming around the wicket to the right-hander. There you go, absolute dream delivery from the off-spinner. Pitches just outside off-stump, spins in, and that's the end of Marina Lamplau.
Well, this is an off-spinner's delivery and a wicket. She came around the wicket, came in at an angle, gave it loop, got that ball to turn from outside of off. Lamplau playing across the line has thrown away her wicket. She walks back for 5. Shreyanka, what a start for her. Wicket of a very first delivery. And India right on top. Take a look at that dismissal once again. One too many. She was eyeing that deep square leg mid-wicket region, Lamplau, and finally she perished. What a start for Shreyanka Patil. This surface is certainly assisting turn, and if you're a spinner, you want to play as many games on the surface. Elisa makes her way to the middle. Team in dire straits. They need a partnership. Wrapped on the pads, but did that get some part of the bat? What a delivery. She's asking questions. Take a look at it once again. Oh, that got an inside edge. Very lucky, else should have been right in front. Quick to signal that as well. She's settled into a very nice line and length, just the right time to say hello to Suhas Wedam.
Good afternoon, Mikhail. Good afternoon to everyone watching. 19 for 4, Hong Kong stuttering.
It's that kind of a situation where you're always batting in two minds. Should I go for my strokes or should I be a little bit more cautious? And that's where the entire game belongs, in the mind. Not offering a shot, never a good idea, especially on a pitch that's turning. That even climbed. Just wonder what was going through the batter's mind over there.
But what she did well was plonk her foot outside the line of the stumps for sure. But if you don't offer a shot, you're still a candidate for LBW, remember? Elsa, how about? Doesn't bounce as much. So Shreyanka's also got a delivery that had skid on. 9 overs gone, 19 for 4.
So it's spin all the way. And at the moment, there's still a batter that needs to get in double figures, and Mariko looks like the candidate, batting on 9 of 13. She's seen partners just leave the pitch and go back to the dugout. Parshvi Chopra, the leg spinner, introduced into the attack. There again, looking to play towards mid-wicket. It's been a tendency of most Hong Kong batters to just go down on the knee and target that mid-wicket region. I'm not too sure if that's a good idea to a leg spinner.
Any other day in a T20 format, perhaps yes, but not in the situations reading 19 for 4.
Particularly when the pitch is turning square as well.
Was this pitch hiding for a couple of days? That's much better. She's found the gap this time. Threads it through the gap for 4.
And when you can play shots like that, why would you want to target the mid-wicket region? Exquisite timing and placement from the bat of Mariko. And if she can play more like these, it'll certainly help her confidence as well.
Beautiful shot. Just love the way she leant into it eventually. Tried one for the heart and then decided to go for one for the coach. Terrific hit. Almost ended up checking her shots, didn't she?
I'll tell you what, so if I'm a leg spinner and I see Mariko going and playing that drive through covers, I'll not be disturbed at all. I'll be happier. That's because I'm increasing my percentage of maybe eking out an edge in the process on this particular surface.
She wants to be cheeky. Oh, she did fall, but the leg, the back leg, the trailing leg, was it all right at the point of impact? Point of impact being the bails bearing the brunt.
In the first place, was that shot needed? Especially when you're so good in front of the wicket, why would you want to do that?
In danger, in danger. Now back home. I don't know, I think she's just alternating between playing a shot that she likes plus playing a shot in the book. She's gone back to an orthodoxy. The green right will flash this time around though. It was an easy decision for our TV umpire.
The only thing that has helped Mariko over here is her height and reach. That's why she didn't have to actually go much out of her line.
Remember, she also honed her skills in English conditions. She was with the Northern Diamonds, recently moved to, I think, Sunrisers.
Looks like a concerned dugout at the moment, Hong Kong. 23-4. We are practically at the halfway stage of this innings. Elsa still to get off the mark.
Just kept the batter interested with that huge back lift. Just kept the batter interested to use it. Loves flighting the ball, Parshvi. Has given away run a ball so far. Now to Elsa, who's looking for a run to start taking. The field will change. There is a long off in place now. Now Kanika guarding the long off fence, but a slip will still stay. This one wasn't turning as much. Where did it hit her? Not outs. Not out, says the umpire. Was it from the back of the hand? Ashvi had no intentions of turning it away from the right-hander on that occasion, but we could almost see the leg stump, and hence that would have missed the stick, says the umpire.
We'll have a water break now for sure, but certainly the first 10 overs has belonged to India. And what I liked about that appeal was Uma Chetri behind the stumps was drifting towards the leg, and as soon as the appeal got vociferous, quietly brought her left leg inside to only signal that it was never going down leg. That much of an impact the wicket keepers make behind the stumps that sometimes the umpires also gauge their direction. We'll take a look at the last 4 wickets, or rather the first 4 wickets to fall. First up, easy catch at square leg, just lobbed it. Trisha with that catch over there. Sadhu was brilliant, got the ball to move in. Before that, the one that went out. Then of course this was a nice catch again taken. That was Lamplau was departed. Kanika with that catch. And then this time around, she was completely beaten in flight and turn. Well, India all over Hong Kong.
This is exponent of brilliant spin bowling, isn't it? And Titas with the one that comes back in was also marvellous to watch. As a captain, sometimes you're torn between the sky suggesting pace and the surface suggesting spin. That's what we were able to ask the bowling coach, Mr. Datta. And he said, no, the captain's all right. She knows exactly what she needs to do. Sadhu's picked up a wicket, Mannat's picked up 2, and those have been a treat to watch. That economy is unreal. You want to save this scorecard if you're Mannat. Shreyanka, 1 wicket for her.
The 5 overs between the wicket takers has given away only 5 runs and taken 4 wickets. That's something they can discuss in the team meeting as to how well they began after winning the toss, and they can pride over this performance. Well, this is a look at the wicket, a closer look at the wicket before the start of play. It did have some live grass at the good length spot, but otherwise once again presenting a very flat surface for batting. Nevertheless, a few cracks, fair indication why there's so much of turn as well on this wicket. Shreyanka Patil to continue a wicket in a very first delivery of her over, and she's into a second now.
That will be given. The appeal pays off. It's the huge wicket of Mariko Hill. Hong Kong are folding too early. 24 and a half the side is already in the hut. And it's Shreyanka this time who's picked up her 2nd wicket and is yet to concede a run.
That was too close to cut, but Mariko not impressed with the decision over there. She stood her ground. The wicketkeeper Uma Chetri went up, and so did the slip fielder, and Mariko has to walk back in disbelief, rather amazed at what happened over there. Everything going India's way at the moment. Half the side back in the dugout for only 24. Hong Kong in dire straits and India calling the shots.
Just a bit here. Just a bit. Just a bit. You went too far. Go back. Middle. That's your leg. Right arm around. 5 more to go.
Has got her. Shreyanka's on a hat-trick now. Mariam Bibi has gone for a big shot out of nowhere. Little did she realize the ball arrived very, very late. I think she's running back to the hut now. Not walking. That was a very short stay.
Oh dear, what's happening in the middle? Call that a brain freeze moment. But Shreyanka Patil still to concede a run in a 2nd over. She's accounted for 3 wickets. The ball is turning. The batters are walking back to the dugout in quick succession. And Hong Kong are losing the plot and falling apart. This after they were put into bat.
Shreyanka Patil, every time she's come out to bowl off late, she's been given the difficult overs. We were watching the WPL, where the difficult overs, the captain would look towards Shreyanka Patil. Now she must be enjoying bowling at this stage when the opposition is tottering.
That's the center.
Slip in place, still, why not? Betty Chan.
Mata. Right arm coming over. 4 more to go.
Catching positions, well, shot mid-wicket and almost, oh no, shot cover. This is a long angle to look at, right? And oh, this is terrific. She thought initially that it had missed the stance, but Uma Chetri led the chorus. Shreyanka joined the orchestra. Much to her delight, the concert went well. And the finger went up.
And there was only one unhappy face in all that concert, Suhas.
Yeah, the one that forgot the tuning fork. Shreyanka. Might not be a hat-trick, but look at that. 3 for none. She's forgotten how to concede a run, I think. And the coach wouldn't mind that at all. And the ball's turning left, right and centre. It's given! It's given just for a moment. I thought it was bouncing a little more. That's not the case. Chan's departing without scoring as well. Hong Kong are in deep, deep trouble.
And I'll tell you, that's a very good decision because you look at the height of the batter.
Yes.
And that is actually right in front. So full marks to that call and that umpiring decision. Shreyanka gets her 4th. Chan has to depart. Wicket number 7 has gone. And Hong Kong are struggling at the moment. Top bowling effort here by India. They can get nothing wrong at the moment. And Shreyanka Patil, out of the 7 wickets, has accounted for 4. She is in the middle of a dream spell.
Can you straighten your back? That's your center. Just a bit here. Just a bit more. She went to back. Let's just
Ruchita Venkatesh. What is she inheriting? A scorecard that she doesn't want to look at. 24 for 7.
last ball to go.
Practices a lot with the boys in the UK. And is known as a fighter. Venkatesh. Quite content leaving that one. Perhaps the first run conceded, but Shreyanka is not off the bat. Hong Kong, I'm very sure, looking at playing out the 20 overs here. The runs that come by would be, the runs would be a byproduct of just staying there. Oh, the ball's turning.
That's over.
Every time Shreyanka has pitched it outside off, she's targeted the off stump with that lovely turn. 11 overs gone, 25 for 7. Natasha 2 of 7, Mariko 14 of 19 was the only form of resistance with the bat in hand. All the others in single digits at the moment. Oh, that should be close. That should be close. Mannat. Oh, not Mannat. It's Pashvi who's continued, and she's also picked up a wicket now. Pashvi's amongst the wickets too. It was a straighter one, and it was dead straight indeed. The batter knew that there's no chance that the finger would stay down. A sitting duck. Elsa does not trouble the scorer. Eliza Hubbard departs for 0. Hong Kong continue to lose wickets. 25 for 8. Just as I thought there was finger spinner bowling. Correction, it is Pashvi. It's all happening here at the Tim Kwong Cricket Ground in Hong Kong. Wickets falling, wickets tumbling. And I think committing on the back foot is very, very dangerous. You might as well put a board outside that dressing room of Hong Kong. Committing on the back foot is a sin. So many candidates of LBW.
And I also have leg stump. Leg stump. चलो भाई इसका दो रंडा ही सीधा.
That was turning the other way. This is turning the other way. And would have missed the leg stump. As the umpire is unmoved, that's what we concur. From the back of the hand. That spun be too much. Venkatesh survives. That's one way to get out of the rut that they find themselves in Hong Kong. Try and attack. Venkatesh finds her first run. Lemon Chung and Venkatesh, they need to decide. I think they'll be discussing, let's play the 20 overs, as simple as that. Nothing more being said in between overs. The relentless spin bowling continues. 27 for 8 Hong Kong. Shreyanka Patil. 4 wickets, 1 run conceded. And there comes the fifer for Shreyanka. It's all happening here. Shreyanka picks up a brilliant fifer by keeping it simple, beautifully flighted off stick. Is a thing of past. It's a fifer to remember for a long time. What a way to start the tournament indeed for India A. Shreyanka picks up 5 for 1 and Venkatesh walks back for 1. 27 for 9.
Just a bit here.
27 for 9 in 12.1. Ikra Sahar's come out to the middle, the final batter. The problem for Hong Kong has been that there's been absolutely no resistance barring Mariko Hill with a bat in hand. They've got to give something, some kind of a cushion for the bowlers to try and eke out something. Oh, once again, absolutely clueless. Shreyanka is appealing all by her own. It's been a while since we've seen some unbelievable spin bowling of this kind. If it's good enough to beat the keeper, let alone the batter, who's intersecting it a little before. Andre just not the best part of the bat, but that's all right. Suddenly, the 22 yards might look like 100 as she puts in the dive, but the throw was a little way, but Omar Chetri had to put a hand up to collect it. Had that been just on top of the stumps, it would have been full stop to the innings of Hong Kong, I believe, because Lemon Chung's not the tallest to try and put in the slide. One-handed collect, but she'd already gone past the keeper by the time the stumps were disturbed. Shreyanka keeping it tight. 28 for 9, Hong Kong.
Thanks, Combs. Thanks, Suhas. We're here with Andy Cottam, the coach of Hong Kong. Andy, firstly, welcome to Hong Kong. And I'm sorry to start off with such a tough question, but at the end of the day, 27 for 9. What's gone wrong today?
Oh, tough start. Obviously, we're playing against world-class players. But for the girls, you know, when we've spoken about a few things over the last couple of days, you know, is we understand where we're at against these kind of players, and you know, with India being world-recognised team, so you know, it's just small things that we want to try and achieve for ourselves, and not focus on what the opposition are doing, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I'm just wondering, was there a target for you in mind before the start of the innings? Maybe something around that 3-figure mark?
Oh, yeah, we'd love to be there, but unfortunately, we didn't get off to the start that we'd planned. So, yeah, look, it's pretty tough, you know, to set batters like targets after the power play, after 10 overs, where you want to be and where you actually are, because if that first target doesn't come off, then the rest of the targets are impossible to achieve. So we're just trying to work on small partnerships, you know, bat time, but obviously we've come up against a world-class attacker today.
Yeah, no doubt. It's never easy squaring off against full member opposition, especially a team that won the Under-19 World Cup as well. But of course, you do have some senior players in this team. Captain Carrie Chan, Mariko and Tash Miles at the top of the order. Are you happy with you know what's happened today at the top? Was it down to bowling quality, or was it more of a...
Oh, look, there's just poor execution, wasn't it, really? I mean, you know, we can go out with all the batting plans and all the conversations that we've had, but it's about execution, the small margins. You know, hit the ball in the air, you get caught. You know, we've missed the ball and got bowled. So, you know, some of the simple things that we actually haven't executed today.
Yeah, thank you for your honesty, Andy. But look, at the end of the day, you have experience coaching in Bangladesh as well. I think you've seen a fair amount of these players. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, I've seen obviously the Bangladesh players that are here. There's some fantastic players here. You know, so for us to really see where we're at against the best, that's what I want to get out of this competition. To really see, you know, as much training as you can do, but you really need to play games against the best to see where you really are.
Yeah, I think you're only a week into your new role here in Hong Kong. But, you know, what are some of the strategic objectives for you and Cricket Hong Kong in regards to the women's game?
Yeah, look, we're always looking for the growth, obviously, is the first thing, making sure that there's, you know, lots of girls playing cricket. And then what sits in behind the national team for our pathway is going to benefit our national team, a bit more competitive for places. You know, those kind of things that... You know, we have got experience in the team, but we've also got a lot of youth in the team, which should be the perfect mix. But, you know, what we really need is people being accountable, taking responsibility and executing.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned youth, because you've got Mark Farmer now working with the youth pathways. What are some of the conversations that you and Mark Farmer have had?
Yeah, well, we actually haven't had much chance to have those conversations, to be honest. But, you know, they'll come up. We've actually got a meeting tomorrow about high performance and where we're at with the female game. And I'm sure those conversations will be had tomorrow. So, yeah, until then, we don't really know. Like I said, only a week in. But, look, it's not all bad. I mean, it's... we've just lost our last one there, but at the end of the day, you know, we've got to go out now and just show a bit of fight and a bit of spirit.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, Andy. I'm not going to keep you too long. And Comms, back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, Jay. Hong Kong fold for 34 only. Sahar, the final one to go back to the hut as she ventured out in search of a big shot which did not exist. The ball arrived a little late and straight into the hands of the keeper. Whips the bails off Dazuma Chetri, and the innings is done and dusted with. 35 is all that India require to put the first win on the board. And I just get a feeling that India A would try and get this in the first 6 overs in the power play itself. That's how Hong Kong fared with the bat in hand. Natasha is the first one to go for 2. Mariko Hill was looking good for her 14. Shanzeen Shehzad 1. Carrie Chan none. 5 for Lamplow, and then a poultry farm started by the lower middle order. Everybody getting out for a duck, and Venkatesh is 1 for 3. Not much to talk about. 34 runs is all that Hong Kong were able to manage in 14 overs. Absolutely clinical with the ball in hand. Started off with Mannat being the first spinner to pick up a wicket. There's a good catch, low catch by Trisha. And then Titas finding the middle stump of Shanzeen Shehzad. Carrie Chan in search of a big shot. I thought Kavita, usually Kanika, was able to catch that eventually. But I thought initially she went back a little. And then started the spin onslaught. Was on a hat-trick for a while. Then Shreyanka picked up the 5 for this. Was Betty Chan, who was struggling to play spin. And right in front was she trapped. Ruchita Venkatesh struggled for an over, and the very next Shreyanka picked her up. Then the leg spinner Chopra Parshvi putting an end to the innings. So all in all, Hong Kong managed 34 runs, and India A would require 35 to put the first win on the board. 35 required in 20 overs should be a walk in the park, and the rain threat also is imminent, but would want to finish it as quickly as possible. Well, India A will join you for that run chase in just a moment.
আপনি টম্বয় দিবেন তো আমি এটা আমরা এমনি একটা বল সাইডেন আমরা অনেক বড় বৃষ্টিটা এই কাবারের সামনে চলে গেছে তাড়াতাড়ি চালু করে দিন
Welcome back to the Tin Kwong Road Recreation Ground. I gotta say, I did not expect this scoreline. Hong Kong 34 all out in that first innings. A dark cloud is settling over the Tin Kwong Road Recreation Ground, and an equally dark cloud settling over Hong Kong's campaign at the Women's Emerging Teams Asia Cup. The home side, their first game of the tournament, and immediately they're on the back foot. It's Jay Dansiani kicking off the broadcast in this second innings. Pleasure, of course, being joined by Suhas Vedam.
Good afternoon, Jay. Even though it looks like a very good evening, if you look at the sky, the sun's gone, disappeared once again. The only kind of rain that India would want is raining sixes. They try to finish this off as quickly as possible. With 35 to get. That's because Hong Kong managed 34. And Mariko was the only batter to get into double figures. Everybody else falling short of expectations. You took the interview of Andy Cotton. What did he say about playing India and how much of a learning curve is it? Now that's after India A bowled so brilliantly. A fifer for Shreyanka. Shreyanka Patil, Karnataka's very own. Now will be known as the Queen of Karnataka with a ball in hand after that tremendous fifer. Just 2 runs given away. Surely it's got to be one of the most record tumbling fifers.
Yeah, it was one heck of a spell. 5 wickets, just conceding 2 runs in 3 overs. Did so well in the Women's Premier League as well for RCB. But back live, it's going to be Ikra Saher opening things up for Hong Kong. She's got mid-on and mid-off. Mariko Hill and Alyssa Hubbard both up in the circle.
Slip in place, you're expecting a little bit of swing, Jay, because Ikra Saher is someone who generates that.
I think Hong Kong are expecting some swing.
The wind to change in their direction. Didn't bounce as much and Hong Kong will not complain. Oh, but that's a wide. Ikra starts off with a wide where every run's as precious as it can get with a deflated score. Hong Kong start off with an extra.
Yeah, she's actually had issues at the start of her career just controlling the new ball. She's been a little bit better in recent times. She won't want to fall back into old habits.
That's a very good delivery, but that's gone through. The second line of defense will cut it off. I thought it was struck well too. Ikra Saher landed this one correctly.
And that's Shweta Sherawat off the mark. Uma Chetri, the wicketkeeper batter, opening up with Sherawat. Tell you what, Sherawat, she missed out at the Women's Premier League. But there's this expectation in Indian cricketing circles that she's the next big thing. I beg your pardon.
Very stylish. And we'll put that away for 4. Just wonder, Ikra's got that extra bit of pace, but she was able to deal with it as if Chetri is facing a spinner.
Yeah, easy pickings for the right-hander. No fuss whatsoever. It was on the pads. She went over the top. She knew where the gap was as well, just behind square on the leg side. You can see a little bit too straight, a little bit on the pads there. Yeah, just behind square on the leg side. Don't bother chasing that.
You're right when you said Shweta was not hitting the ball as well as she would have wanted to at WPL, but before that, in South Africa, it was a different story altogether. Very quick between the wickets as well.
Yeah, she was the leading run scorer amongst all teams at the Under-19 World Cup. I still remember that innings against South Africa. After the first innings, I thought the game was gone. They were chasing in excess of 180, I believe. She scored 92 with the assistance of 20 boundaries. Imagine that. Shweta Sherawat back on strike.
Hint to swing for Ikra. This single, will it be challenged? Oh, that's a good job by Lemon Chang. Good collecting it, but I think she was coming in front of the wickets, which sort of obscures the wicket itself for the thrower.
Here's quick single, streaky single. And yeah, you're right. I would have been behind the wickets, preferably.
Into swing, a slip in place. Would you make the batter drive?
Yep, absolutely. Pitch it up. Look for that outside edge.
This is okay. Sometimes when you bowl this delivery, you look at the umpire very slyly, just to ensure that the arms do not separate themselves and go wider.
I tell you what, she has the right idea. She just has to start it a lot straighter than that. Ikra Saher. Last ball coming up.
Straight to the fielder. Still they want that run direct. It would have been curtains for Uma Chhetri. Good backing up by Chan.
Yeah, we're taking a look at this replay. A short arm jab straight to the fielder. Very risky. And Ikra Saher couldn't collect that delivery. It should have been the first wicket for Hong Kong. Nonetheless, India A, 9 for no loss after 1. A look at that India dugout. Relatively relaxed. Some of them looking to the skies as well. I think they want to get out of here, I beg your pardon, before the rains come down. I predicted it as well, Suhas. I said around 3 p.m. it's going to rain.
We're 4 minutes away, aren't we?
Uma, right arm coming over.
The new bowler at the crease, off spinner, Betty Chan.
Let's start off with a single there. Now Betty Chan needs to do what she did for the Jets in 2022. You can tell us more about that.
I know for a long time she's been probably Hong Kong's best bowler. When I say probably, I mean probably / definitely.
Bowler of the tournament in the East Asia Cup in China.
And she dismissed Mignon de Priya and Laura Wolfart at fair break.
There you go. I was following that tour to China actually. 8 wickets at 4.45 is unreal. Good delivery. Now that singles are truncated. Otherwise, the two Indians, Shweta and Chhetri, were running as if single is their birthright. The ball went absolutely nowhere within the 30-yard circle. Still that single was possible. Tells you how well they understand each other and how good the calling's been, barring one moment. That's in the air. Will it be taken? Yes, she'll pluck the catch out of thin air. Just what the doctor ordered for Hong Kong. Some momentum.
Yeah, finally something to cheer for the home fans. This is just back of a length. She couldn't find the elevation on that. Time that jump to perfection. Carrie Chan. Save that video for your social media profiles. India A 10 for 1 after 1.3 overs. That's the end of Shweta Sehrawat as well. Dismissed for 2.
Just a bit. That's your leg. Right arm coming over. 3 more to go.
On camera when you see.
10 for 1 in 9 deliveries. Oh, that's a good shot. And despite the dive, the ball will win. She just pierced the gap so beautifully, didn't she? What a way to start for young Trisha from Hyderabad.
Yeah, Trisha Gongadi, more than 100 runs in the Under-19 World Cup. 4 runs on this occasion to kick off her innings of a very, very friendly full toss.
India in a very strong position at the moment and looking good to overall this paltry total of 34. And it was largely aided by the bowling performances of quite a few bowlers. And one such bowler was Titas Sadhu. She got 1 for 3 in her 2 overs. We are in conversation with her. You can wear that smile. Brilliant bowling. I'm sure you enjoyed the conditions, Titas.
I really did. It was ideal.
Right, we did see you bowl and we did see you extract bounce. We got to see you move the ball away from the right-handed batter. Was that a setup when you got that 1 wicket coming into the right-handed batter?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to bowl it in, that particular ball, and it worked out. So we are all happy.
Because what we saw is most of your deliveries before that was outside of off, leaving the right-handed batter, and that one certainly surprised. Well, take us through your preparation before each game, Titas, and the team composition and the kind of mahol that we talk about.
So I think this squad is all about that good mahol, and we all enjoy each other's presence a lot. And I hope that it's really visible in the ground as well. So for my personal preparations, it's obviously this with a good warm-up and bowl a few before going into the game with like the arms in the right position and like ready to bowl it out.
Just 18 years of age, a girl from Bengal, 5'6" height, carrying the responsibility of India A in this tournament. You must be enjoying all of it.
Yeah, it's surreal.
Right, you are a World Cup winning member from the under-19 side. You were amongst wickets there as well. That must have been a very, very critical and a big moment in your life. Was that something that really gave you a different outlook towards your game going forward and boosted your confidence?
I think it made us learn a lot, not only about cricket but about ourselves, about our lives and what it could mean to be a cricketer.
Right, we talk about this Asia Cup, the first of its kind, an endeavour by the Asian Cricket Council, where the entire committee has come out with a plan where associate nations will play A teams or full member nations. How big an opportunity it's for you who's looking to make a mark now into the senior team?
So any exposure to see new people, to play in new places, to play against different teams is always a plus. And the media is another thing which exposes us to the public. The public can see us.
That's exactly what's happening right
exactly.
now. And I'm sure you're enjoying every bit of the adulation as well. From Bengal, playing for India under 19 and now India A, to Delhi Capitals for the WPL. How was that experience?
It was awesome, really. It was different and it was hard. But that 1 month we were in Mumbai, we enjoyed, and the best part of WPL is I think we can meet new people and we play with them, and the people we have adored for so long. Like just before the WPL, in an interview like this, I was asked like who I would like to bowl against, and I had told Meg Lanning.
Right.
And in DC, she was my captain. So that is the beauty of this franchisee cricket.
Just going by the current situation, looking very comfortable, but you have another big game lined up on the 17th. You're looking forward to that?
So any game is big for me.
Right, you keep it very simple, a girl of few words. And before we let you go, just want you to talk about Asian Cricket Council and the opportunity they've given you.
So I feel this will help us collectively grow as a nation, not only countries. And we are able to see different, obviously the way we play cricket is different, and that will open our eyes to new opportunities and new strategies which we may not have thought of.
Right, is there a particular player you've idolized while growing up and tried to emulate as well?
So I have always had a opportunity and the privilege to look at Jhulan Goswami from like really close. And obviously, I have always followed Alice Perry.
Right, and have you picked Jhulan's brains as well over a period of time?
Yes, I mean, I have travelled with her, so why not?
Right, and I must tell you that you're treading on the right path and you've done a phenomenal job today by leading the pace attack, and good luck for all the matches ahead. You were brilliant today, Titas. That is Titas Sadhu talking with us. It's back to the commentators.
Thank you so much, Mikhail. Thank you so much, Titas. Oh, what a lovely talent, isn't it? Titas Sadhu rubbing shoulders with Romili Dar herself and Jhulan Goswami, idolizing them. Now playing for India A. Oh, that's from the meaty part of the bat. Don't bother chasing that one. It's a gift to the Indian dugout from Chetri.
Yeah, shot of the day, as far as I'm concerned. Hoik into the leg side. 24 for 1 now, India A. Just 11 more runs needed for victory. Let's take a look at that. Fetched it from outside off stump. Knew she wanted to go aerial. Through the kitchen sink at that. One bounce, 4. Yeah, rough end to the over for Mariam Bibi. It was actually a decent over up until that boundary. 6 runs off it. Punch of the gloves there. Gangadi, Trisha, Uma Chetri as well. The wicketkeeper batter, Uma Chetri. Had decent time behind the sticks as well today. She's got a couple of boundaries away. A nice little start for the wicketkeeper batter from India A. 11 more runs required for victory.
And I think the route they're going to take for that 11 is going to be aggressive as well. With the rain threat looming large. Just get a feeling that Trisha has also been asked to go for the big shots here. Not feed the strike to Chetri. What a fantastic story Trisha is. Her father sacrificing so much, leaving his job and moving to Hyderabad to nurture the talent in cricket that she has. Now that's not a run, but they've gone for it. Makes it safely. Makes it safely.
Yeah, never a run here. Wisely decided against it. Almost too late. But all's well that ends well. She's safe. She's still there. She's going to live to fight another day. 4 balls left in the over.
Betty didn't have the time to move away either. That came so quickly. That's good fielding at the end of the day.
The countdown begins, Suhas. Just 10 more runs required for victory.
Yeah, almost everybody knew that it's going to be an early finish after Hong Kong folded for 34. Catching position at short cover. But she's gone straight. There is long on in place. Mariko Hill will ensure it's only a single. She's got a lovely throwing arm as well.
Yeah, she's usually on the boundary for Hong Kong. Very athletic. Chips in all 3 departments. Right arm seamer, bats at the top of the order. Often fields at long on as well.
I want to pick your brains about the right hand seamer part. Why isn't she in operation? That's just over. And it's going to trickle to the fence. 5 required now for India to register their first win.
And once again, that intent, that power, just forcing this one off the back foot. She knew she wanted to go aerial. That's exactly what she did. She committed to the shot and smashed it down to the extra cover boundary for another 4.
5 away from victory. Will she try and finish it off this ball? That is, if she goes for the glory shot. Trisha. After watching that innings against Scotland, every fan of hers would want her to go for the glory shot. But she's quite content meeting the ball under the eyes. Yeah, under the eyes will do the trick here. 4 overs gone, 30 for 1. And the question still remains, Jay. No matter how much you hide from it, why isn't Mariko Hill in operation with the ball in hand? The ball's doing a little bit.
Personally, I'm okay with this decision. Now, they have quite a few bowling options, and Betty Chan, more often than not, tends to bowl within the power play. But a reminder of what's to come tomorrow. Sri Lanka A against Bangladesh A. UAE squaring off against Malaysia in an official women's T20I game. So that counts towards their statistics as well.
It's going to be huge for both the sides. UAE and Malaysia in search of their first win. Chetri and Trisha. Trisha being someone who's played more spin while growing up. Didn't turn at all, just went on with the arm. Very late she offered that shot, and we saw a couple of times when the Hong Kong batters did the same thing. It just landed in the lap of the fielders. Long on in place, mid off in place. Would she go inside out? She loves to do that, Chetri. All leg side, which has already yielded her runs. Excellent collect by Lemon.
Yeah, I love how she's giving the ball flight as well, Carrie Chan. And you're right, good take there from the keeper, Lemon Chung. So a couple of dots here. Carrie Chan, good first over so far. Can they get a hold of Carrie Chan?
That's through the gap. Enough to yield a single. A shot away from victory. What are her options here? Should Trisha go for it? Because you've seen more of Carrie Chan. What are the lanes that she'd be targeting for the last two balls? Would want to close out this over.
Not too sure about lengths, but I feel like the pace, she might just fire this one in.
Want it to be slower. I think she's waiting for the fiery one for the last ball. It's just that you've got Ruchita who can manage the mid-lowers. The Hong Kong teams have, for both the teams that she plays for. Oh, this should be taken, put down! Butterfingers. And it's one of the safest pairs of hands. Would you believe it?
Yeah, that about sums up Hong Kong's day. Tash Miles, Middlesex Player of the Year. She's much, much better than this. And you're going to see on this replay, she was just a little bit off balance. She was on the run. She should have been steady, stable before trying to take that catch. She's a much better fielder than that. I don't think we're going to see Tash Miles put down a sitter like that for a very, very long time.
Yeah, make an NFT of it. That's how rare it is. Rajita Venkatesh. We were talking about the mid-lowers. The game might not stretch that far. Rajita Venkatesh in the power play. It's going to be fun. 4 required. Is there any other off-spinner? When I think of Hong Kong and I think of off-spinners, there's Ehsan Khan, her coach, and there's Venkatesh herself.
Yeah, Ehsan, what a legend. Swept those awards at the Little Saiwan Award Ceremony. Here's Venkatesh, first ball.
A quiet single gives it to Trisha, who might go for the glory shot now. Yeah, absolutely. Talking of Ehsan, the highest wicket taker for Little Saiwan. Now here is Venkatesh. She's got a couple of tricks up her sleeve, but it's just that the game's almost done and dusted for her to prove her entire efficacy. That was one poor ball's been put away in superb style. That'll seal the deal for India A. Trisha manages a 6 to get to 19 as well and will stay unbeaten. And it's all smiles for the women in blue. They've registered their first win. And it's auguring well for India A going ahead in this tournament as well. A thumping victory against Hong Kong.
What a way to close out the game as well. Definitely the shot of the day. Maybe one of the shots of the tournament as well. Mate, that wasn't just big. That was absolutely massive. Nearly out of the ground, in fact. Trisha, nice little red inker. 19 not out. And yes, you're right. India A, not Hong Kong, winning by 9 wickets.
There he's heard you. 19 of 13 remains unbeaten. That's Trisha, and it's one of those sixes where you wish even off the replay you can hear the sound of the ball hitting the bat. That's music to the ears of any batter, isn't it? A convincing victory. A victory where India A weren't tested much though. After the flip of the coin battle went their way. Shweta decided to bowl first. That's because of the threat of the rain looming large. There wasn't a raindrop. The game ended quickly. First, ensuring that Hong Kong are bundled out for just 34 was a magnificent effort by the bowlers. And now as the handshakes begin, it's also important to tell you that it wasn't much of resistance with the ball in hand as well that Hong Kong put up. India, despite losing a wicket, managed to get home quite easily.
Yeah, and it's a tough first game as well for head coach Andy Cottam. A lot to discuss in that post-mortem. And Hong Kong, they might be an associate team, but that's no reason to talk down to them. 34 all out. They are much, much better than that. It just wasn't good enough from Hong Kong. They've got players like Mariko, Tash Miles, Carrie Chan, and 34 all out. Like I said, just not good enough. But I think we're going to see them bounce back in the rest of this tournament.
That's what we've seen from Hong Kong women all the time. Now here is a squad which is all smiles, and why not? A convincing victory in the opening game for them. Get the much needed 2 points, and should it come to net run rate because of the rain threat as well now and then they've done a world of good to themselves. What's the battle cry going to be? India, of course.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, another added layer of complexity, especially today. Pakistan, they won by a very narrow margin against Nepal. And you see India with absolutely massive victory. At the end of the day, you only have to finish in the top 2 in the group to go through to the semi-final. But if you finish first in your group, then you play the second place team in the other group. So there's still a lot to play for. You want to finish at the top of the table, and you want that net run rate advantage as well. Here's a look at the highlights. They're going to be short. Uma Chaitri taking advantage of one down the leg side, picking up an early boundary. Another boundary this time. Apologies, that was the run-out chance. It's close as well. She'd hit. Betty Chan picked up the only wicket to fall. Carey, what a nice leap into the air, the only wicket. And that boundary into the leg side, splitting the gap. Mariam Bibi, the over being spoilt by a hoik into the leg side. Chan, she tried hard, but she was forced off the back foot through extra cover. It was raining boundaries for India A. Another force off the back foot that should have been taken by Tash Miles. And then finally, a short delivery, the winning shot, sailing into cow corner. And symbolic of how dominant India A have been. They justified their tag as the pre-tournament favourites and made a strong, strong statement at the Tin Kwong Road Recreation Ground.
That's the upshot of the game that ended very early. Now we'll first go through the batting card of India. Shweta was the only wicket they lost for 2. There was a terrific catch by Carrie Chan, bowled by Betty Chan. The Chan sisters get the better of Shweta, but Chestri and Trisha ensuring that they get the runs required, and India romp home in the end. The net run rate column, the last column of the points table. You don't want to be looking at it too early in the tournament, you would say, but you never know with Hong Kong weather. Hong Kong, the bowling, nothing much to talk about. Betty Chan being the only wicket taker.